Hello everyone and welcome to another custom figure showcase, and today we're going to be looking at a custom which people have been asking me to do for so long. I've genuinely lost count how many times I've been asked to make this. Some of you may know that a while back, many years back, I made the Dalek General from the Dalek That Time Forgot, the fantastic animation by Lee Adams. And ever since doing that, and even before that, before I did the general custom, people asked me to do the green Geneticist Paradigm Dalek, and I always said no, because it was a repaint, and that was it, and I just wasn't interested. And that is still technically true. But of course, obviously I have made some concessions, because here it is. The green Geneticist Dalek from the Dalek That Time Forgot. So, there's a bit of a story behind this custom, because as you can see, it is just a repaint, bar one thing, which I'm going to come to in a minute. I was chatting with Dan Hambridge, some of you may know him as Emperor DHS Customs, or DSH Customs. I should have looked that up before I said that. Apologies, Dan, I should know that. Anyway, I was chatting to him about doing Dalek Customs, because he had done a couple of Paradigm ones at the time. He had done the Guard Paradigm Dalek, which inspired it, and then he was talking about doing the Geneticist Dalek, and we just got talking, and I said I think it was one that I was never that interested in, but it then occurred to me that I had now the reason that I'd never done it in the past. I said it was just a repaint, but also the claw would have been very difficult to do. However, I now have a 3D printer, which means I thought I would take a crack at designing the claw, which I did, obviously, as you can see, and then I sort of realised, well, now I am going to have to make the custom now I've made the claw. So I did, and it was just a case of spray painting up a Paradigm Dalek green, painting, redoing, touching up the silver grey bits, and obviously painting the claw. So in many ways, thank you to Dan for inspiring me to do this, because I genuinely still wouldn't have done it if it hadn't been the necessity of doing the claw. As I said, the claw itself is 3D printed. It was just a case of just building the basic shape and putting it all together. For those interested, I will be putting it up on Thingiverse for people to download, but I will also be putting it up, we have here an unpainted version, on my eBay for people who are interested in getting them. I'll be doing a few of those a month. But I haven't just done a standard claw as you can see here, because one of the things that I really wanted to try and do originally was to make the claw open and close, and sadly on a small scale it just wasn't feasible. It just didn't, I couldn't get it to work. It was very difficult to sort of get it to go together and still make it open and close without the claws flopping about all over the place. It was either too loose or too tight, which means it was either too loose, it was flopping about, or it was too tight and it snapped. Instead I made an open version, static version, which is open, which again is going to be up on Thingiverse and up on eBay for those interested. But one thing that I am going to try and do, because some of you may remember a while back I did my 13-inch Daleks, and I said that I didn't have any plans to do the green Geneticist Dalek. It just wasn't one that was huge interest to me. But obviously now I'm more tempted to do it if I can find another cheap 13-inch Dalek, because I've now got a whole can of spray paint that I don't need anything else for, so I'm going to try using that to make that. But the other thing that I'm going to try and do, now I've got this 3D print claw design, is when I scale it up to 13-inch to print it, firstly it will be too big to print on my printer, but what I will be able to do is adapt it, and hopefully when I print it in parts I will be able to scale it up and actually make it articulated so it will open and close. So for the moment, a version that does open and close isn't available, but it is something that I'm going to be looking at in future. Whether or not that will still work when it is scaled back down to 5-inch, I don't know. But yes, at some point in future there will be a 13-inch Geneticist Dalek coming, and there will be an update to this claw that will allow it to open and close on demand, I suppose you would put it. But for now, that brings to a close another custom figure showcase, and this is one that people can finally stop asking me to make. As always, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Like, favourite, subscribe, share, it really helps me out a lot. Which is the description below for a link to my Patreon. I'm doing my very first figure animation and you can get involved. There's exclusive content and rewards for those who do so, and funding my Patreon in any way gets your name at the end of my videos. I salute you all, and I will see you with another video very soon.